In the headlines, Army says IED allegedly planted by ESN, IPOB blows up members in Imo. Murdered Zamfara State National Population Commission commissioner's children regain freedom. Court to hear Abakari's extradition case Friday. And on the foreign scene, gunman kills 4 in Oklahoma Medical Center. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. An improvised explosive device, IED, allegedly planted by members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and its armed wing, Eastern Security Network, ESN, has exploded, causing severe injuries to 2 members of the outlawed group. The incident occurred along Eke to Osu Road in Osu local government area of Imo State last Wednesday. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Mwachukwu, said the dissidents inadvertently stepped on the IED, which they had earlier planted along several routes in Olu, Osu local government area, while they were attempting to evade troops' onslaught against terrorists in the area. The outlawed group have severally planted IEDs along troops' patrol routes in a failed attempt to bring harm to the troops. He urged all peace-loving people of the southeast to inform troops of possible areas where these explosives have been buried for proper evacuation and disposal. 2 daughters of the recently murdered former commissioner of the National Population Commission, MPC, Zakari Umaru Kibu, have regained freedom from their captors. Gunmen had on Sunday stormed Umar Kibu's residence in Azuba Bashayi, Lafia local government area of Zamfara State and abducted his children after killing him. The Zamfara State Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Rahman Nansel, Wednesday confirmed their release. He said the children were rescued due to pressure mounted on the kidnappers who were hiding in the mountains in Egon local government area of the state. He said the victims had been reunited with their family after undergoing medical examination. When asked whether ransom was paid to secure their release, the PPRO said the command had no knowledge of such. However, a family source said 30 million naira ransom was paid to the kidnappers before the children were released. Meanwhile, the Zamfara State Deputy Governor Hassan Mohammed has sympathized with residents of the state over the recent attack by bandits in Oki District, Bungudu local government area of the state. Senator Mohammed, during the visit to the area, described the attack as an act of insubordination and disruption of peace and security in the area. Some 30 members of the local vigilante were on Monday killed by bandits during a gunfight near Gidan Inna community in Oki District. The Deputy Governor said right from the onset, Governor Bello Matawalli has been trying to adopt workable strategies in addressing insecurity in all parts of the state. While sympathizing and condoling the Emir of Bungudu, Hassan Attahiru, Bungudu local government, people of Oki District, families, relations, and the entire people of Zamfara State over the killings, he prayed for peace to be bestowed in the land and for the repose of the souls of those who lost their lives. A federal high court in Abuja has scheduled the hearing of the extradition proceedings initiated against the suspended Assistant Commissioner of Police, Abakari, by the federal government for Friday. Justice Inyang Eku chose the date on Thursday to enable the Attorney General of the Federation file a formal response to Kyari's notice of primary objection challenging the competence of the extradition application filed by the AGF. The AGF applied to the court for permission to surrender Kyari to authorities of the United States in relation to his alleged link with international fraud suspect Abbas Ramon, aka Hush Puppy. President Muhammadu Buhari has lamented the surge in insecurity on African waterways, specifically within the Gulf of Guinea. President Buhari noted that the development required collaborative efforts among stakeholders to tackle. The president spoke at the International Maritime Conference in One, River State as part of the 66th anniversary of the Nigerian Navy. The report.
President Muhammadu Buhari commended the Nigerian Navy for its commitment to ensuring safety of the country's waterways. Represented by the Minister of Defense, retired Major General Bashir Magashi, the President noted that efforts of the Nigerian Navy have led to reduction in sea piracy and the listing of Nigeria from the International Maritime Bureau of Piracy list since March 2022. President Buhari said the conference will fashion out ways for collaboration among security agencies and curbing maritime crime in the collective waterways.
We agree that these threats have become transnational and evolved beyond the scope and capability of one nation to deal with. The situation therefore calls for greater international collaboration, and this conference therefore symbolizes strategic collaborative initiative between Nigerian Navy and other international maritime stakeholders.
Earlier in his remarks, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Gambo, noted that this year's International Maritime Conference, with the theme Optimizing Collaboration for Maritime Security and Socio-Economic Development in Africa, is apt and timely. Admiral Gambo noted the rising need for effective collaboration in maritime policing, stressing that the current security threat in the Gulf of Guinea is of serious concern to Africa and the global community.
This conference will provide a veritable platform to collectively perfect way forward in addressing the myriad of challenges in the maritime environment. It is therefore hoped that this forum will facilitate the much needed distance towards identifying viable concepts and constructive collaborative action plans that will support this strategic level initiative. Hence, it is against this background that the team optimizing collaboration for maritime security and socio-economic development in Africa was conceptualized.
Admiral Gambo said the Nigerian Navy has grown from an offshoot of the Nigerian Marines to a formidable component of the country's security architecture and a major player in the Gulf of Guinea security.
Ahead of the June 30th deadline for the suspension of the continuous voters registration exercise, the Independent National Electoral Commission in the FCT has called on eligible voters that are yet to collect their PVCs to take advantage of the remaining weeks to get registered, as the Commission has made adequate arrangements to ensure a successful process. The Resident Electoral Commissioner for the FCT, Yahya Bello, made the call following complaints of inaccessibility of the portal, as well as frustration from the physical biometric data capturing process, collection of PVCs, among others, at INEC offices within the FCT. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu has more.
As the online pre-registration portal is closed, the rush for physical data capture at the various centers of the Independent National Electoral Commission within the FCT has become overwhelming. These registrants who express their frustrations attest to this.
We've been here writing our names since as early as 5 in the morning. Till now, they've not attended to us. And it's very bad. They are trying to frustrate our efforts so we can't vote. But the truth is that no matter what they do, as long as they give me my card, I'm going to vote.
Since last week, the crowd is just frustrating. So I wrote, like yesterday I wrote my number. I was 296. Today now I was thinking they will continue with yesterday's number, but now they are telling me they started a new one today.
They are not doing register now. They are doing online. And since yesterday, they don't close online. So I begin to beg them, they let her do it for me. Since morning, it's just now I'm coming out.
Resident Electoral Commissioner for the FCT, Yahya Bello, says the Commission has made adequate provision to attend to registrants, especially those who boycott some centers due to the cumbersome process.
Here, we have a lot of personnel to do that. We are going to add more machines because, typical of our own behavior in Nigeria, we are going to wait until the last moment. We have been doing this continued voter registration for a long time.
He noted that the Commission is in partnership with the National Orientation Agency, civil society organizations, and members of political parties to ensure a smooth exercise and urge eligible voters to collect their permanent voters' cards.
And we continue to do with them. so that people are more aware. It's no question. We are also not doing the continue, but we are also the issue of collection of the PBCs. These PBCs have been on the ground. Anyway, we will come to the issue of collection of PBC this June and after. It is the CVR, the portal, the online has been closed. Physical capturing will continue until that, but the collection of PBC will continue until the end of this year.
Although millions of Nigerians have registered since the inception of the online and physical continuous voters registration exercise, which commenced in May 2021, many are yet to collect their printed PVCs from previous INEC registrations. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The civil society organizations in River State have appealed to the state government to pay teachers of the state-owned schools who are being owed 6 years' salaries. The chairman of the state civil society organizations, NFR George, who said this during a press briefing in Port Harcourt, urged the state governor, Nyesom Wike, to withdraw the appeal court case and pay the school teachers their salaries. The chairman explained that some of the teachers have died, while some are critically ill due to non-payment of their salaries. He also called on the government to pay gratuity of pensioners who have been pleading for their benefits over the years.
On three key issues. One is that we want to plead that His Excellency the Governor of Rivers State should please withdraw the court case against demonstration teachers at the Court of Appeal and reinstate and pay these teachers their 6 years' salary. These teachers are dying, they are suffering as I speak to you. Just only recently we have recorded more deaths. Issue of pensioners. They are saying that His Excellency should do well to pay our old parents their pension and gratuity. The government had promised that in May they are going to pay, and from calls we have put through to these our old parents who have served states judiciously, up till now there is no signal yet. But we believe that the governor, who have just less than 1 year to go, will not allow us to go to that part.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Still to come on the news, State Governor lending support to pastoralism. This and more after the break. Do stay with us.
Daily, we bring you updates around politics.
People like you who are very young, you have no future. Anybody now who is 30 years, if what is happening to them continues, by the time you are 60, you will have no country.
The DPO of a particular unit does not have to wait until the commissioner tells him what to do within his jurisdiction.
We have political parties on the ground. Some of them have been there for years. But they themselves, in their own sober moments, they know that this country is not the one they're expecting to run.
Policy and governance.
Are you saying the NBS is lying?
I'm saying to you very clearly that the NBS has a serious problem with accurate data till today.
The 5th Assembly, as well as the 7th Assembly, their own attempt were unproductive.
Emergence of the Taliban has simply emboldened terror groups globally.
There is a lot of attention with regards to security developments in Nigeria.
On Daily Politics, we interrogate issues, holding the actors to account, bearing in mind all the sides.
We heard that in some places now, people have to go and pay tax, not to the local government, not to the state, but to criminals.
Nobody can come to your house and kidnap you without information.
If this country is bleeding, it is bleeding because we have failed to educate our young.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. Army says IED allegedly planted by ESN, IPOB blows up members in Imo. And murdered Zamfara State National Population Commission Commissioner's children regain freedom. Moving on to other news now. Residents of Osun State have identified lack of sophisticated equipment and poor crowd control strategies as major impediments to quick and effective firefighting. As a result, the firemen are often at the receiving end of and incurring the wrath of angry mobs whenever fire wreaks havoc. Hamid Oyegbadi filed in this report.
The main duty of firemen is to extinguish fires whenever they occur. Apart from combating and fighting fires, other functions of firemen include rescuing people from road traffic accidents and dealing with other emergencies such as flood. There have been instances of mob attacks on firemen while carrying out their duties. This could be as a result of slow response to fire outbreaks. Properties worth 47 billion naira were saved in Osun State last year, courtesy of the efforts of men of Osun State Fire Service, while properties worth over 1 billion naira were lost to fire incidents in the state. An unfortunate fire incident at Okepopo in Oshobo, Osun State capital, consumed properties worth millions of naira. Nothing could be salvaged as the fire razed many shops. Madam Bintu, who witnessed the incident, said, men of the Osun State Fire Service came to the scene immediately they were called, but had to return to get water.
You hear shouting that wuta wuta. We don't know about wuta wuta. Or that wrong. Everybody come out. When they come out, they said that Adelakun is fire, fire, all sub. They call fire. They come. But before they come, anything spoiled.
Shegun Adegoke decried the attitudes of people who resort to take pictures and recording videos during the fire incidents, noting such actions can constitute hindrance to firemen.
When firemen are called upon to come and put out the fire, these days you find that they are obstructed by people who are trying to record the scene or trying to record the incident. They want to be the first to break the news, and so the actual work that the firemen were actually called upon to come and do, they will not be able to do it.
The director, Osun State Fire Service, Mr. Michael Ogundepe, urged residents to call the fire service immediately a fire outbreak occurs and assure that firemen are always ready to do their job.
The challenges we are having is the public. When the fire is burning, they will not call the fire service immediately they notice there is fire. The public will be making their own effort to put the fire off by themselves. But when it gets beyond the control, it is then they will remember that there is fire service. When they call the fire service will follow them immediately. When we get there, the whole building might be engulfed by fire, and the public will now blaming the fire service that since the fire has been burning for so more than 1 hour ago, fire service is just coming. But immediately they call us, we follow them to the scene of fire.
And the governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, has solicited support for pastoralists in Nigeria to make up for the gap between farmers who enjoy government support and pastoralists who do not enjoy any of government's intervention. The governor made this known at an event organized by Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in conjunction with Northern Consensus Movement. Gaza Yakubu reports.
The Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, in conjunction with the Northern Consensus Movement, has organized an event to help address problems facing the country. The event with the theme National Security Summit and Pastoralists had in attendance the governor of Niger State, who calls for justice for the pastoralists.
When, as a governor, I can't tell you, every year we have floods. When there are floods, we provide palliatives to farmers that have lost their farms or their crops. When a young friendly boy loses his cattle to cattle rustlers, no one even knows. No palliative. So the time has come for government to play a major critical role to address some of these anomalies.
While preferring solution, the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Muhammad Abubakar, said resources have been approved for the new grazing reserves.
The current administration, the President himself has approved a large sum of money for the tracing and the establishment of new grazing reserves. So far, we have started. It has taken off one, that has been launched in Nasarawa. This is just the beginning.
The Mayati Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria and the Northern Consensus Movement expressed concern over the stigmatization of pastoralists in the country, noting that they are also victims of the situation.
The pastoralist is at the receiving end of every sin crime in this country that is taking place today. So we have gathered here to at least allow the media to know our side of the story, to also request the media and plead with them to be fair to us in their reportage. The media cannot hold us or ransom for crimes perpetrated by few elements among the Fulanis.
The summit is to help address the problems facing the country, especially in the northwest, ranging from kidnapping, banditry, and cattle rustling. Gaza Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Federal Executive Council has approved measures in response to the latest report from the Ministry of Finance for the first quarter GDP performance of 2022. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed admitted that the country's improving economy was not impacting positively on Nigerians. She revealed this on Wednesday to newsmen at State House Abuja after a meeting of the council. Kende Amodu reports.
The Nigerian economy has grown by 3.1% in the first quarter of 2022, compared to a growth of 0.5% in the first quarter of last year. The report implies that there is gradual economic stability from the recession witnessed in 2020 after 6 quarters of positive growth. But the finance minister admits that these positive indices will not be directly felt by the people unless there is growth in most sectors, especially those that impact on jobs.
We also reported to Council that inflation has started going upwards to the extent that the monetary authorities, the central bank, have had to adjust the MPR to 13% in the last MPC that they have met, and that's an attempt to manage the cost of inflation. So Council has decided to set up a special effort to look at the sectors that are not growing and also to look at how we can grow the other sectors better.
Also on Wednesday, the Council of Ministers gave the go-ahead for the execution of an MOU between NNPC Limited and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. This will result in the construction of the Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline.
This pipeline is to take gas to 15 West African countries and to Morocco, and through Morocco to Spain and Europe.
Meanwhile, the cabinet approved contracts for the Nigerian Police Trust Fund, totaling over 8.3 billion naira.
What we're having now have been assembled from the output of the end user, that is the Nigerian Police Force. And we believe by the time these items are on ground, they will go a long way in improving the efficiency and the effectiveness of Nigerian police in the maintenance of peace and security in the country.
The contracts approved were for the purchase of 82 operational vehicles, supply of customized police raincoats and customized police boots, as well as customized instructional materials for the police colleges and schools. From State House, Abuja, Kende Amodu, Trust TV News.
And in business, the 16th Islamic Development Bank ISDB Global Forum on Islamic Finance opens in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, to discuss the role of social innovation and entrepreneurship in confronting poverty and fostering shared prosperity among member countries. Under the theme Social Entrepreneurship for Shared Prosperity, the forum is coinciding with the 2022 annual meeting of the Islamic Development Bank ISDB Group. President of the bank, Mohammed Al Jasser, will deliver the opening speech, while Hala Helmi El Said, the Egyptian Minister of Planning and Economic Development and ISDB Governor, will deliver a keynote address. Prominent development practitioners and experts in social innovation will discuss the intractable social problems facing humanity and some of the best ways to address the challenges. And on the foreign scene, a man armed with a rifle and a handgun opened fire inside a medical building in Oklahoma on Wednesday, killing 4 people in the latest of a series of mass shootings in the United States. The gunman also died, apparently, of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Tulsa's Deputy Police Chief Eric Dalglish told reporters outside the St. Francis Hospital. The shooting comes 8 days after an 18-year-old man armed with an automatic rifle burst into a Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, and killed 19 children and 2 teachers, and just more than 2 weeks after a shooting at a Buffalo supermarket by a white man who is accused of killing 10 black people in a racist attack. U.S. President Joe Biden has been briefed on the Tulsa shooting, the White House said in a statement, adding that the administration had offered support to local officials. And in sports, International Basketball Federation FIBA has confirmed that Nigeria will not participate in the 2022 Women's World Cup billed for Sydney, Australia later in the year. The World Basketball Governing Body announced the decision in a statement Thursday morning. Last month, Sunday Dare, Minister of Sports and Youth Development, announced that President Muhammadu Buhari had agreed to withdraw Nigeria from competing in any international basketball competition for the next 2 years. The minister added that the ban is part of efforts to revamp sports from the grassroots. The move came amid the ongoing power tussle within the Nigeria Basketball Federation, NBBF. In the statement, FIBA said the Nigerian Basketball Federation is unable to confirm its participation in the FIBA Women's World Basketball Cup coming up in 2022. Consequently, it said the Tigresses will be replaced by Mali in the competition. FIBA will announce whether there will be any other decisions related to the NBBF's participation in other FIBA competitions and any potential disciplinary measures in due course. And with that, we wrap up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for joining us.